I have a 4.4 million mile F350 7.3 diesel.
I don't pay rent right now. I live with my baby mama and she owns a mobile home.
All right, a couple clips today. As always, car loans, car debt. We're going to start it off with a guy that says he has 4.4 million miles on a Ford F350. And then jump into a guy paying $1,200 a month for a scat pack while living in his girlfriend's trailer. That sounds about right for this channel. The type of stuff we're used to seeing. The next video I'll start throwing in different types of debt to keep it interesting. Let's get into the 4.4 million mile Ford.
I have a 4.4 million mile F350 7.3 diesel.
Wow, that's a lot of miles.
Yes, sir. I'm a boat and RV transporter. I go all over the country plus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you guys got my information because I didn't do nothing with you guys.
Yeah, somebody inputted on our website on a payment calculator. Somebody input 2000 Ford F350. So were you looking at trading that in or no?
I mean, everybody has looked at me. They would only give me $1,000 or $500 because they said there's nothing in the market that's going for a 4.4 million mile motor.
I've never heard of a vehicle with this many miles. This has to be the highest. Let me know if you have. I did a quick Google search. The most I could find was a 66 Volvo with 3.2 million miles, which really is quite impressive. Another was a 90 Silverado with 1.2 million. Who knows if this is accurate? It would be amazing if it was, but I'm guessing there's no way to verify it. Maybe he just lost track of how many times the odometer rolled over.
Yeah, not a whole lot of comparables there, that's for sure.
Correct. Long story short, everybody has never gave me any good prices just because of the high mileage, because the odometer's been rolled over 4 times easily.
Wow, that's impressive.
Original motor, it is still the original 430 rear end because it's a double yoke drive shaft system because I have the super cab with the 8-foot dually bed in the back.
Yep.
Basically, I'm just now about to get ready to do injectors and glow plugs on it in the first 25 years of it.
Now, I'm not that familiar with diesel engines, but just doing the injectors and glow plugs doesn't sound right. Sounds like something you do every 150,000 miles, or every few years, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, if this thing really had 4.4 million miles, wouldn't you want to sell this back to Ford? You'd think they'd want that truck back. They'll want to figure out why it lasted so long and make sure it never happens again.
Because it's all original still.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. That means that you probably took pretty good care of it.
Oh, like my daddy always says, treat your truck like you treat your woman. How long you want to keep her around?
That's solid advice.
We had repossessions. I had a 2022 F250 with 7.3 gas. The camshaft snapped in the motor. The China soft metal camshaft was built in some of the 7.3s.
Yep.
I had...
Now we're getting into it. A repo. Well, he actually said repos. I'm seeing so much of that lately. People are just buying more than they can afford. Or they just stop paying when it breaks down. And you can't. When you stop paying for that, it destroys your credit. You're stuck with bad interest and the worst terms. And really, it's just going to end up costing you more in the end. Instead of giving it back, pay back what you agreed to. It'll save your credit and save you money down the road.
One of those issues, and the truck was totaled before I could get the recall in there, so I got that against me. And my wife, she didn't want Ford Flex anymore, and we just recently returned that back to the bank because with 5 kids, the Ford Flex was no good.
How long ago were those repossessions?
One's almost a year, and the Ford Flex was just not even 3 months ago. If you guys can't see if there's anything on the truck, I understand with the mileage and the age.
I mean, I could see the 4 million miles. That might cause some people some heartburn.
His wife didn't want the Ford Flex anymore, so they just gave it back. There's been so many vehicles in the past I bought and didn't want anymore, but I still paid it back. It just makes more sense to take care of the loan. I mean, you signed a contract, you agreed to the terms. It sounds so simple to just do a voluntary repo, but really it's just going to follow you for years.
They said with your 2 repossessions and the money that you need to put down, there's no money in the truck.
Got it.
That's why I'm not even looking, because I already know it's not even going to happen, you know what I mean?
If you want, we can try. Obviously, it sounds like it would be a difficult one to get approved. Not necessarily impossible, but definitely a challenge.
Hopefully this guy can get another million miles, because all he's going to get is horrible terms if he tries to finance. They took the easy road and just gave it back to the bank. They probably thought they were just escaping the problem, but really you're just pushing it down the road. If you actually can't afford it, that's one thing. I understand that. But just deciding you don't want it and giving it back to the bank, that makes no sense.
You're interested in our 2023 wide body scat, right? You said you have a 2022 you're trying to get out of?
That's my goal, right? That's my plan. I'm not trying to waste your time or nothing like that. But, man, I just got this vehicle right. Got a bad deal, man.
How many miles are on it?
I already put like 5,000 on it in like a month.
About 37,000 miles?
Yeah.
Okay, what are your monthly payments?
My monthlies are $995.
$1,000 for a non-wide body scat bag. How much is your rent?
I don't pay rent right now. I live with my baby mama and she owns a mobile home.
Gotcha.
Or a trailer. So we just live there.
What's your credit score?
My credit score is bad, but I co-signed with my mother.
What's her credit score?
Like 772.
So he's got bad credit, a $1,000 payment, and living in his girlfriend's trailer. Now there's nothing wrong with living in a trailer, but why aren't you helping out the mother of your kid? You think you'd at least be helping her with rent. Maybe it has something to do with that car payment. I'll never understand some of these people's priorities.
And then how much money do you make a month?
I make pretty good money, bro. $4,000, $6,000 a month.
All right, so let's call it $5,000 a month. They pay stubs, or how does that work?
Direct deposit.
Perfect. Insurance a month on this Scat Pack.
$378 a month.
So you're about, what, $1,200 a month round trip on this Scat Pack? Your Scat Pack, non-wide body with 37,000 miles, I can offer you like $36,500. I know you just bought this for $52,000. That's crazy. Did you roll over? It was just straight car? Did you have a previous trade-in?
Nothing, just down payment. I saw the vehicle. I talked to the dealer. I talked to them. Ran my credit. Obviously, it was bad. And then I was like, well, I have my mother. And then, they ran it, and that's what it was.
He's got a decent income, but it's still $1,200 a month for the payment and insurance. He's likely around $1,500 all in for everything. He probably works really hard for that paycheck only to waste it on transportation. He's not helping his girlfriend out, which is kind of messed up. And why is his credit score that low when he doesn't pay rent?
If you roll over into our wide body, I can probably give you a little bit more. Maybe I can push to like 38.
The amount financed was $53,000. MSRP was $43,000. Gas agreement cost $1,400.
Wait, so the car was supposed to be $43,000, correct?
Vehicle purchase price $43,999.
All right, so 44 grand. And then you're saying that you ended up with $52,000 financed after $3,000 down payment? That's crazy, man. Do you have any money down to eat up the negative equity? Because like I said, I can offer you 38 if you get into our wide body Scat, but you're gonna have to come up with a difference. How much money do you have out of pocket?
How much money do you have?
At least to make the deal happen, probably gonna have 10 to 15 grand to get you a good rate and make sure you're not, gonna be at $1,300, $1,400 a month.
The older I get, the less these numbers make sense. $50,000 vehicles, $10,000 down. Rolling in debt from previous loans. I mean, to me, this is a lot of money. More people should take up the time, save up the money. And they'll find it extremely difficult, if not impossible, to drop it all on a vehicle. The more you save, it seems to be the harder it is to spend it. At least that's how it is for me.
What you're saying is what I'm trying to do, but 10, 15 grand, I don't have that right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, brother, but I could get it within like a month,
Okay.
a month and a half.
This is just me giving you advice. You make $5,000, you're spending $1,200 a month on the car, over 20% of your income. Circle back in a month, just give me a call, and when you got the money, we'll try to roll you into a wide body Scat Pack.
Yes, sir, yeah, because I need to, because I'm sure it's gonna be a better deal than what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, look, you bought the car $44,000, you ended up financing $53,000 with $3,000 down, so that means your bottom line was $56,000. That's crazy.
I can't do nothing about that anymore, right?
Yeah, no, you can't, man. It is what it is. You signed the papers. I tell people all the time, make sure they understand what they're buying into, break down the fees, ask questions. But in this case, I guess, it is what it is. In a month, hit me up.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sounds good, brother. Bye.
Getting out of a bad deal but planning to get right back into another one. I'm sure Yusuf will get him a good deal on a car, but it's still going to be a car he really doesn't need. It's too much. All you need is a daily driver. He's got a good income. It's time to save, time to invest. Put that money to work. So hopefully you don't have to later on. Something you really don't see many videos about. Something we need more of. Less of the fancy cars and lifestyle. More about saving and planning for the future.
Hey guys, I know this isn't like my normal content, but I really need advice. I just leased my first vehicle. Everything's under my name, the loan, everything, and I leased it in July through Mercedes-Benz. There has not been a month that has gone by where I have not taken my car into the shop. I opened a lemon case with Mercedes and they offered to buy it back for $64. I just don't understand how I'm supposed to get a new car with $64. They're not budging on the price. They're not doing anything to help me. They just are being so rude to me.
Now, why does somebody that young need a Mercedes? I really think a lot of it has to do with social media. People are seeing expensive cars, designer clothes, all from these influencers and think it's success. But really, most of these people are broke. It's just all a show for the camera. The cars are rentals, the properties are rentals. The money they do make, it gets thrown away. I see videos popping up daily of these people making millions of dollars and then are broke in a couple years. But people see this fake lifestyle, think it's real, and then they want the same.
The company Sedgwick that they're using to do the buyback, and I just don't know what to do. I'm 23 years old, so I can't get a loaner car, so my parents, my grandparents have to come sign for me each time. And I get it, like I'm in negative equity, which I didn't even ask to be. Like I want to go through with this lease. Like I never wanted my car to break down. I love my car. But in a dream world, I would have just traded my car out for a gas version of my car, something that's more reputable. They also said I could keep it for $10,000, but I literally can't keep it because I don't turn 25 for a year and a half and I need to move out. So if you guys have any advice, please message me or comment or do anything.
My advice would be next time buy a vehicle. Don't finance one, don't lease one. Buy it in cash, drive it, and save that money. The first few cars I had were really cheap. I mean, really about as cheap as you can get. And it was the same with most of my friends. It really didn't matter what it was or what it looked like. And some of them looked pretty bad. We were in a small town, we just needed to get out. So it wasn't about being seen in some fancy vehicle. Nobody at the time was even thinking about financing. It was taking what you had, even a couple $100, buying a car, putting a little bit of work into it, and getting on the road as cheap as possible. Somehow now it's changed into what you drive and what people see you in. So people are willing to take on debt. And really that's just taken away from your future.
Do you know those people that get like $1,000 plus car payments and their like response to it is, I deserve a nice car? This response always gets me because like, if you think about it, like, I deserve it. Wouldn't you deserve it if you worked hard to earn the money to pay for this car? Like, those are the people that deserve it, that can truly afford it. But for you to live so far outside your means and get a car that's like way above what you can afford and say, I deserve it, is crazy. You deserve to be in debt for being dumb like that. And I'm really not even trying to be an ass, but I think it's crazy to be like, well, I deserve it. I deserve to live out of my means. Like, yeah, you do deserve to live out of your means because that was not a smart decision.
Now, I know someone that just recently went into debt. And of course it was for a car, even though they already had a few vehicles. And it was because of a family member saying they deserved it. I know a little bit about their finances because they've told me. And they are in debt, serious debt, hundreds of thousands. Also some really bad spending habits on the side, addictions. Not the worst of the worst ones, but ones that drain your wallet. On top of that, they don't really make a lot of money. Really just an average income. The numbers I know of don't make any sense at all. But they were willing to take on more debt. I believe it was a $60,000 car, just because they worked so hard and deserve it.
That is just such a crazy thing to say. I deserve it. It's like, I'm really talking about the people that say, I deserve it, and they do not have the money for it because, babes, you do not deserve it. You didn't do anything to get, you don't deserve it, but you think you do deserve it. Like, but I mean, like, in another sense, you do kind of deserve to, like, make not that smart of a decision and spend, like, over $1,000 a month on a car payment. But saying, like, you deserve something that you really didn't work for, you just, like, went to the bank and signed a crazy, outrageous loan for an outrageous amount, that, what? You deserve, yeah, you deserve that. Actually, you do.
She's right. You deserve the debt and you're going to pay for it. I tell myself I don't deserve things. I messed around a lot when I was younger, and I wasted so much money. I took on debt when I should have been saving and investing. So I try to save as much as I can now, try to catch up. The good thing is I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I live simple and I live cheap. But the rare times I do want something, the money is there to pay for it cash. I'm not willing to take on debt any longer for things I want.
So I just made a $10,000 payment towards my husband's car loan, and I just want to talk about how that felt. I thought that I was going to feel disappointed and that I was going to feel sad that we literally spent our savings in this car. It's like a huge weight was off my shoulders when I did that. And that's the effect that you get when you pay off your debt. Debt that you probably are thinking it doesn't have a real effect on your day-to-day life. Once you pay it off, the freedom that it feels is amazing. And we still have a long way to go. We still need to pay more than $15,000. But just by making that $10,000 payment, I feel so relieved. That's the feeling. It's like relieved that that's $10,000 less that I owe.
Paying off debt is one of the greatest feelings. And I remember feeling the same way as her. I never wanted to send the money to pay things off. I'd rather keep it in my account. You'd think you'll feel disappointed about losing the money, but it's really not like that at all. It feels more like a weight is lifted off of you. And it's a feeling that doesn't get old, especially when you think about how many other people are in debt and always seem to be getting deeper into it. A lot of people talk about how it's just something you live with. It's normal. I hear it all the time. You'll be in debt for life, so who cares about more? It's a choice. And if that's how you want to live, fine. But I'm going to stick to not owing anyone. If you want to see more, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.